if you're a beginner, you can improve extremely fast at this stage. But most beginner guides tell you the completely wrong things. They give you a bunch of advanced strategies, but that's exactly why you're not improving. Because when you're a beginner, you only need to follow the simple steps I'll go over in this video. I'm going to give you the brutally honest advice that no one else will. I've coached hundreds of people to qualify to tournaments, improve faster, and even get earnings. So I know exactly what you need to do to improve as fast as possible, and I'll also give you the best routine to follow at the end of this video. But first, you can't skip the 7 steps every beginner needs to know. But before we get into the main video, if you're a beginner trying to actually improve at Fortnite, instead of just wasting time practicing the wrong things and spending hours trying to figure out everything by yourself, I would really recommend getting Snapin. It's the only fully personalized training system for Fortnite. It gives you a 24/7 AI Fortnite coach trained on pro strategies, advice from top coaches, so you get instant personalized feedback on what you need to fix. It also builds you personalized routines based on your weaknesses and gives you a clear progression system so you always know what to work on next. Basically, it's the structure and intention pros use to dominate fights and tournaments, but without needing a real coach, which you can't even get unless you spend hundreds of dollars, and you have to get lucky if the coach is even good. Snapin is released on February 1st, so go to snapping.gg if you're watching in February, but for those watching the video before then, you can sign up to the email list to get an email from me the moment Snapin is released. The link is in the description. Now let's go over the 7 steps every beginner needs to know. First of which is to just enjoy the process, and I know this isn't what you were probably expecting, but don't click off the video, because the truth is, if you are enjoying what you're doing and you're enjoying grinding and like seeing yourself improve, you're going to progress a lot faster. If you're currently not enjoying the game and you're just starting out, it's going to be hard for you to reach a high level. But if you follow everything in this video, everything is going to become clear on how you can improve. Step 2 is to grind your mechanics, and there's a lot of videos out there telling you to focus on your weaknesses. In fact, I even have a weakness tracker in the description which helps you track your weaknesses. But the brutally honest truth is that when you're just starting out, you don't need to hyper focus and overcomplicate your routine by only focusing on your weaknesses. When you're a beginner, you're way better off working on all your mechanics: piece control, peaks, building, editing, and most importantly, your aim. At this stage, you don't have the fundamentals of mechanics down, so there's no point on ruling out certain mechanics. Later down the line, there will be, but right now, work on all your mechanics every day. In fact, when I first started out, the thing that helps me improve the most was just grinding mechanics maps for 2 hours every day. But now it's even easier to improve your mechanics because the practice maps have gotten so much better. And like I said, I'll give you the exact routine you need to follow to improve later in the video. But you genuinely have to follow all the steps, like step 3, to maximize your improvement at this stage. Because when you're a beginner, if you do all the things right, you can see more improvement in the space of a few weeks than someone with $1,000 earned can in a few months. And it's all by doing the right things, all because you have a lot more to learn. But step 3 is to play lots of ranked, and this is going to help you learn Fortnite a lot faster, and most importantly, learn how to fight against lots of different skills and playstyles. But don't forget that in Fortnite, your rank doesn't matter. It's not like other games where you get something for reaching the top rank, not to mention that no one cares whether you're Unreal rank or not. And because of this, and just the fact that you want to maximize your improvement, it's very important that you try to get into as many fights as possible in ranked. As the more fighting repetitions you get, the more you're going to learn the fundamentals of how to properly fight in a game like Fortnite. Just make sure to follow these very 2 important rules when you play ranked. Rule 1 is to focus on dealing damage and taking no damage in return, compared to what most people focus on, which is how they can use mechanics like building and editing, because most players get this wrong. So instead, focus on countering your enemy and having full awareness on them, so you can take advantage of every mistake they make. Rule 2 is to W key, and this doesn't mean you have to play aggressive when you're in the fight. You can still play smart and you can still play slow when you're actually in the fight, but the point of W keying is to get into as many fights as possible in the first place, because the more times you fight different people, the faster you're going to improve. Next up, let's talk about a crucial fighting tip that will completely change how you fight. Not only will you be able to end fights quickly, but you'll also win a lot more fights. Essentially, the key rule you need to follow is to focus on awareness in your fights. Play to react to what your enemy does instead of overbuilding, and focus on dealing damage at every opportunity you get, and just playing to wait for your enemy to make a mistake. This doesn't mean you can't piece control and just have to stand still and watch your enemy. It just means your enemy has to be on your screen at all times, so you always know where they are and what they're doing. When you're in fights, if you lose awareness of your enemy for more than just 3 seconds, you could miss a big mistake they make that could have won you the fight. But if you just have awareness on your enemy at all times, then you'll be able to punish your enemy for all their mistakes, and you'll never miss out on an opportunity that can win you a fight. It might look like pros are flashy and piece control everything, but really they're just focused on always having awareness of the enemy, playing off their enemy's mistakes, and always prioritizing how to deal damage without taking any in return. And speaking of pros, if you want to know the one thing that every single top pro does, which is the same thing you can do that will guarantee improvement, then you need to VOD review. But normally when I recommend VOD reviewing, I recommend the boring way of watching pros games using Fortnite replays. And in these videos, this is the best way because you can see a lot more and it's a lot more focused and advanced. But when you're a beginner, you don't need to be VOD reviewing like this and looking for advanced pro strategies. Instead, when you have spare time, watch pros streams. So follow a bunch of pros on Twitch, and whenever you have free time, watch one of them who are live. But try to look for the small details they do and how they play, because this is going to help you spot all the little things that are super important for Fortnite, like how pros bait their opponents into making a mistake, just as an example. So although this isn't going to directly make your mechanics better or something like that, it's going to help increase your game sense and help you understand the fundamentals of Fortnite. Also, after doing this for a while, you might even start replicating a move you see a pro do in your own game, which can win you more fights. And a bonus of this is that it's also a lot more fun than VOD reviewing with the Fortnite replays. But another quick tip is to make sure that you always warm up. This is for more slightly less beginner players, people that didn't just start playing Fortnite but maybe just started playing tournaments. Because if you're new to the game in general, you should be spending a lot of time in creative anyway, so you won't have to warm up, as you practicing your mechanics and fighting in creative for a long time is pretty much just a longer warm up. But if you just started playing tournaments, you should always warm up before doing anything else, and warm up everything as well, your mechanics and your aim. And if you want to go a step further and improve faster, you can focus on your specific weaknesses. I do have ready-made templates to help track your weaknesses, as well as videos on how to find your weaknesses and build a routine based on your weaknesses. And everything is included in the bundle, which is linked in the description at a discounted price. Now let's go over the thing that is going to lead to you seeing the fastest improvement. Now most of you might have seen all these videos giving you tips and tricks on how to improve or what you need to know as a beginner, and a lot of the advice is it's true, some of it probably isn't, but something that no one can argue against when it comes to improving is that the more you play, the more you're going to improve and the faster you will improve. Getting more reps of fighting, practicing your mechanics, watching pros, going up against players and just grinding the game is gonna help you learn and improve as fast as possible. I just wanted to include this small section because you need to know that the more consistent you are and the more you play, the faster you'll improve. So I hope that motivates you to put in the hours even if you're bad right now, because you will eventually improve if you stick with it and practice the right things. And play against good players or people around your skill level, as they won't let you get away with as many mistakes, which if you went up against a player worse than you, you'll get away with more mistakes, which you'll then probably end up doing in an actual game against a good player. Now, the best way to improve as a complete beginner is to just practice and grind all of your mechanics and practice fighting. And the best way to practice your mechanics and learn new moves is by using Raiders Mechanics Training V5 map. Literally just spend a lot of time in this map grinding your mechanics and having fun doing so. But let me actually go over the best things to do in this map, because most of it you can do and most of it will help, but let me show you the things that will help most, so you can then go in and practice what you want but based off of something that you know works. First is this free build section, which is obviously a very good section, especially for beginners, because it's where you can practice new moves and everything, and you're free to practice whatever you want. And when you're free building, make sure that you practice editing from awkward angles, warm up all your mechanics, practice piece control, and practice at least one new move every day. But if you want to improve as fast as possible and have some more time, then I recommend practicing 2 to 3 new moves each day. And then the next most important thing for most people is going to be this aim section, and these are the scenarios that are actually good. Any others that I don't aim at right now are scenarios you don't want to do. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is okay if it's what you struggle with at the moment, but I wouldn't recommend it typically. This is good. This is good. This is good. This isn't. This is okay if you don't have Kovacs, but I recommend Kovacs as well if you play on keyboard and mouse on a PC. And there's routines in my Discord, the Pro Reality, which is completely free, and the link's in the description. But this is also an okay scenario. This is a very good scenario. I recommend everyone doing it. This isn't that good. These I would mainly avoid. This I would mainly avoid. These two are very good. I'd recommend everyone doing them. And same with this bounce tracking scenario. Same with this high ground tracking scenario. This is okay, this I wouldn't do. Now, the next place I recommend some people trying out as well is this edit scenario. When I first started out the game, I literally just spammed maps exactly like these, which had a bunch of different edits, and it's one of the reasons I've become such a fast and consistent editor. And this edit timing scenario is really good because it allows you to get the right timing so that when you edit, you don't see this blue and you only see the white tile. And this obviously lets you edit as fast as possible. And you can do the same with walls, and here you can just practice pretty much every edit combination in the game. And over here there's this very actually satisfying edit drill which helps you get good editing crosshair placement. So instead of editing big angles like this, you edit small angles like this and move your crosshair as little as possible when making an edit, which helps you edit faster, more consistently, and be able to do more edits in a row. So this helps you practice that, and also helps you edit from awkward angles as well. Then you also have this piece area where you can practice all the different piece control moves you know. And when you're a beginner, this is good to practice all of these because it teaches you the fundamentals of the best piece control scenarios and the best ways to piece control and stuff like that. But after you've been playing for around a month and you know how to do them piece control drills and different moves, you can go to this comp section, and this is where you should spend the most amount of time when it comes to practicing mechanics like piece control or building. And all of these are good to practice besides this headshot box fight scenario, and also this clutch practice scenario I don't recommend either, or this piece control free build scenario. So I recommend sticking to this, and this is the same as the other one in the editing scenario. But these two are the main ones you're going to want to focus on. But when you're a beginner, you're also going to need to practice things like these as well, because these two scenarios are mechanics that you need to use in fights, which you'll soon learn if you practice in this map. The best routine is to do this and then do 1v1s against a good player and then play lots of ranked. If you do just these three things and do it as much as possible, you will improve, as long as you follow everything else I've said in this video. But if improving is something you want to do, then I recommend watching this video on screen. But before you go, make sure to like and subscribe and use code Blexiti in the Fortnite item shop, and make sure to check out Snapin using the link in the description if you're serious about improving fast. Thank you for watching.